and Bama football on YouTube. Welcome to our post-game reaction show right here on Bama football on YouTube. Alabama 29, South Carolina 22. Thank you very much for kicking it here right here on Bama football on YouTube. First of all, could I get you guys to run the thumbs up on this video? Do you believe, all right, look, this team in a gritty performance able to come through with a gigantic victory and able to beat South Carolina. And there's a lot to dive into, and I know it was very frustrating at different points. So how this is going to work, first of all, could I get you guys to run the thumbs up on this video? Do you believe, all right, look, this team in a gritty performance able to all right, let me reset that. I put the stupid thing in there. I was a little bit shaken on that too. All right, I think we should be good. All right, let's see. All right, so, all right, here we go. Look, I know there's a lot to dive into in this particular game. I think it was a very gritty win. I think you're frustrated. So what we're going to do on this post-game stream is I'm going to run over the stats, what stood out to me in this game, my reaction video, and then I'm going to take your guys' calls as well, right? So get comfy. Let me go over this. And, look, I'm going to tell you what as well. Look, if you're just joining us, will you let everybody know I remain positive this entire time? I did. I knew that they'd be able to win. I did. This is a team that was able to fight through adversity at the beginning of the season, turn everything kind of into a positive. But I think when you have a quarterback like Ty, you're never out. And he didn't have his best game. And let's start right there with Ty Simpson. By the way, if you're just joining us, thank you so much for kicking it on the post-game reaction show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Okay, so we'll start out with Ty. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much. I'll take your calls here in about 20 minutes. Let me get through this. Ty Simpson, 24 of 43. 2 touchdowns on this game. In the season, 20 touchdowns and just 1 interception. So that is really impressive, okay? So I think that's kind of a starting point. And one of the things is, what's impressive is he didn't have his best game, and he, Heisman front runner and all this stuff, and Alabama is still able to win. Now, I think when I look back to this game, do you look at Ty and you're like, okay, he was inaccurate, right? He didn't, like, his deep ball is just not there. And I kind of wonder, I'm like, does he not have a deep ball? Is that kind of one of the weak spots in his game? I don't know. I also know that South Carolina was holding on like every single play, right? So the deep ball wasn't there. But I will tell you, the late scoring drive that Ty put together was absolutely impressive, right? When he took the team down on a 14-play drive, 79 yards, and came up in crunch time. Like, that was it. And I think that Ryan Grubb, there was a couple things that I didn't agree with, and that's kind of been the case for most of the games. You don't agree with everything that the OC is doing, but look, that 2-point conversion was nasty work. Coming out on 3rd and 10 for the game winner and going with Jerry Bernard at the Wildcat, that was nasty work. So these guys, they didn't have their best offensive performance. Now, I do want to talk about the running game, okay? And I kind of have a weird take about the running game. I feel that this particular game was in the second half, they started, and late in the game, they kind of ran the ball better. So they couldn't run in the first half. And then in late in the game, they ran the ball. Like, Daniel Hill had some nice runs late in the game. Jam Miller had some nice runs late in the game. Can they run the ball? I don't know. I mean, 20 for 72 is not good, but in crunch time, they were able to do it. Now, kind of everything starts with the offensive line. Man, offensive line certainly was a huge issue, and South Carolina brought a ton of pressure. And that was the most pressure that Ty has faced, I guess, since week 1. And, you see the accuracy up here, 56%. That wasn't it for Ty, but, they were able to come up with some plays when they needed it. I do want to talk about this, the wide receivers right here. 7 for 72 for Ryan, Jerry Bernard 5 for 54, Daniel Hill 4 for 76, actually leads the team in receiving tonight. But, man, I have to say, this team has a lot of drops. That's one thing that certainly has to be addressed, is kind of the weak spots on this team is the offensive line overall, okay? And then the drops. This team drops a lot of passes. I saw Jerry Bernard drop a pass. I saw Rico Scott drop a pass. I saw Caleb Edwards drop a pass. I saw Ryan Williams drop a pass. I saw everybody dropped a pass, right? Except Josh Cuevas, I don't think. So that's certainly something that's got to get cleaned up. Now, utilizing Daniel Hill has been great. And does he need to be running back number one? I don't know. I think Jam is suitable, and I think Daniel Hill, is right there as well. And I think he's surpassed Kevin Riley. But getting the ball right here to Daniel Hill was nasty. I mean, 4 for that, you tackle him. What, 250 pounds? Man, that was crazy, right? So that's kind of collectively, but the team does drop, passes. Now, I do want to say this. A couple things. Like, I love Grubb, and I'm not going to sell Grubb. I'm not selling on any of the players. I think this is just a tough game to win. But I will say this. I'm done with Caden Proctor at Wildcat, okay? I'm done with Caden Proctor. I don't think it's, cute anymore. I think it's actually dangerous for Caden Proctor. If this team already has issues on the offensive line, if Caden Proctor goes down or he gets injured, you're done, right? Let's face it. So stop that. The other gadgetry, it does work. I'm not a gadget guy, but I think that the whole Krispy Kreme deal is kind of done. So that's kind of the offense. And it wasn't the best performance from these guys, but they did come up when they had to on that late scoring drive to come up with the touchdown. And the 2-point conversion was absolutely fantastic. Now, let's talk about the defense, fam. Could I get a thumbs up for the defense? The defense, oh my goodness. They did an amazing job. I think going against Lenora Sellers, this guy, I want to give credit to where it's due, okay? Lenora Sellers is a great quarterback. He's not the most accurate quarterback, but in terms of like his playmaking ability, oh man, that dude is a monster, okay? You couldn't take him down. He threw for 222, probably one of his better games this season. He played his heart out. He also had 18 carries for 67. Now, Alabama is able to weather the storm against a quarterback that can run, winning on the road. Those are some of the things that were challenging. And also, as I always talk about, that time possession, South Carolina won the time possession, 32-38. But the only thing that helps combat time possession when you don't win it is the turnover margin right here. And as you can see, Alabama had that critical turnover late in the game by Deontay Lawson, which was probably the game-changing play, right? Could I get a thumbs up for Deontay Lawson? And I was making a note of this. That's probably one of the better plays of this season, right? You think about the defense and all the plays that they've made, and I keep reminding you, let's go back to Georgia, right? 4th and 1, Deontay Lawson, LT Overton, come up with the stop. You go the next week to Vanderbilt, come up with the interception, Keon Sabb. You go into Missouri. It's a special teams defensive play, right? And you stop him. You go to Tennessee. Well, what do? You got a pick 6, 98 yards by Z Brown. Well, what do you do against South Carolina? You get a strip ball that leads into the game-changing touchdown. So, man, very impressive tonight against a quarterback that was, this guy's pissed off to win, right? Let me talk about the defense and kind of go into the stats, and then I'll take some calls here in a little bit. But let's zoom in real quick to the stat line of the defense. Bray Hubbard, 8 tackles. He had 2 solo tackles, and he had 2 pass breakups over here. He had Deontay Lawson, who came up with that stripped ball. He had 4 solo tackles, 7 total tackles in the game. I think if I have to give a game ball, it's probably going to Justin Jefferson, okay? And now Justin Jefferson did an amazing job in this game, especially in the first half. He came up with, and I don't know as many of you saw this, but on the pick 6 in the first quarter, right, with Deshaun Jones almost fell, and Justin Jefferson picked him up and, helped him get into the end zone. Justin Jefferson also had one of the biggest hits that we've seen in I don't know how long, right? Man, that was ferocious. I can't believe the guy held on to the ball. I saw Nakai Hill-Green running everywhere, and I saw South Carolina holding more than I've ever. South Carolina held out of the most out of any teams I've seen, period, right? Yanzi Pierre made a couple plays. James Smith had some penalties, offsides. I think he had 2 in the game that helped South Carolina kind of extend drives. But I thought, the nucleus of the defense, I thought did pretty well. I do want to talk about the special teams, okay? I think sometimes we don't talk about the special teams, but in this particular game, I think we definitely have to highlight the punter, Blake Dowd. This guy had 5 punts, 277 yards, but the longest right here, 60 yards. Yo, that was crazy. He also had a 51-yard punt later on in the game. So he had, Is that 5 punts plus 50 yards? Dang, that's incredible. He was averaging 55 yards per punt. Wow, that's a game ball for sure. Special teams wise, I guess on the negative side, the play with Jalen Mbakwe was interesting because it felt like he got pushed right into the ball, and that was a fumble. South Carolina is able to, make an opportunity out of that. But that was kind of something that stood out to me and kind of like a negative side. I don't know. I wouldn't blame so much on Jalen Mbakwe. It seems like he kind of just got pushed into the ball. So Alabama now 29. Alabama now 7-1, rather 29. 7-1 on the season, and in a gritty win. I mean, I know it was very emotional for everybody just, watching that game and being like, man, I can't believe that they're able to win this game. I think a lot of people felt that they were going to lose this game. And I tried walking people off the ledge as best as I could during this game because I knew that if Alabama, all it was going to take for Alabama is one particular drive, and the game was never really out of reach. Even when South Carolina took, the lead, I felt that they could come back. I mean, it was manageable. I kind of wonder, if Shane Beamer has thoughts about maybe going for 2 when they went up by 8. He could have went up by 9 maybe because he knew Alabama was going to get a shot. I mean, there was just so much time left on the clock. But look what they've done, fam. I mean, look, you kind of look back at like what you've done and the work that you've done. This says a lot right here. Being able to beat Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina. This South Carolina team, they're a good football team. I think there's some bad football teams out there, and they'll probably be penalized by this score. They'll probably be penalized by how they played in the first half, and they should. But I think they should also be rewarded for the body of work, and they should be rewarded for how they kind of responded to everything that went wrong in that game and still coming out with a win. That was gritty. And props to the coaches for being able to keep those guys in line. And this is impressive when you look back, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 consecutive wins is super impressive, and winning on the road as well, right? Just challenging. Now, kind of looking ahead, you have an open week, right? A much-needed open week. And then you have LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn, okay? So it doesn't get easy. And, you kind of just have to continue to weather whatever storms come your way. Let me do this real quick, and then I'm going to take some calls. And get inside the comment box, fam. All right, so that's kind of my take. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take your calls, okay? So as you know, on the post-game show, I'm going to give you time to talk, but know that there's somebody else that wants to make calls, okay? So I'll politely ask you to move on. You can ask questions. You can point things out, whatever. It's a post-game show. We'll be here. We'll break some bread together. So just be cognizant, though, that there's other people behind you, and they want to talk too, okay? So give me 1 second as I set this up, and then we'll take some calls right here on Bama Football on YouTube. You guys doing okay? Thanks for kicking it with me, by the way. Man, I never lost sight. And if you were inside the stream, you can rewatch. I never thought they were going to lose. I always thought they were going to win. Ty Simpson, that, you kind of talk about like Heisman moments or whatever. I mean, that could have definitely been one of them. Is like him leading the team down that, long touchdown drive to tie the game. That was really impressive. He didn't have his best game, but I'm not going to sell Ryan Grubb. I'm not going to sell Ty Simpson or anything like that. It's just I have questions. I'm like, do they have a deep ball? 1 second, fam.
Thank you for calling.
1 second, and then we'll set this up. So I'm going to put the call-in line on the screen, okay? And then you guys feel free to call in. I'll take the calls as they come in. Call-in line is right there, 205-850-1994, okay? All right, and the call-in line is open, so if you want to call in, now is a good time. We'll take our first call to 240. Hey, welcome to the post-game show. Yeah, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, it's Andy G. I'm up in Hagerstown, Maryland. How are you?
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, Andy. Go ahead, man.
Yo, brother, like I said in the comment box, man, my Medicare card come this week. I can't take these games.
Man, it was and I think the world of college football is just going to have to get used to these type of games and understanding that any given Saturday you could be in this position. It was a rat poison game. We knew it was coming, but I have to tell you, Andy, is like South Carolina. That's a good football team, scrappy football team, tough to beat over there. I'm not going to sell like DeBoer or say these guys need to get fired or anything like that. It's just like they found a way to win. Good football teams do. Let me ask you about this this running game. Do you have an idea or a theory why Alabama can't really facilitate a running game?
It just seems like, look, the offensive line's got one job, right? You got to move that man in front of you from point A to point B, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. And sometimes I think with Ryan Grubb, when he's in a running situation, you know, I saw a couple deep balls, and I'm thinking, why is he doing that? We need to keep the chains moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So there was times that I didn't think, you know, when we should have ran the ball, we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And he's known for that. But they did do what they had to do. South Carolina was scrappy. You know, this was their big game. It was their homecoming. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But man, that's a tough game. My dog hiding underneath the bed because I'm yelling at the TV.
Yeah, I know. And I was trying to walk people off the ledge. I just felt that that the game was never out of reach, but able to win and you kind of enter a much needed rest week. So anything else, Andy?
Yeah, we ain't giving Josh Cuevas near enough props.
Love it.
That man makes big third down plays.
Yeah.
He made that huge 2-point conversion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he makes these blocks, and he's going to play on Sunday. I'm telling you.
Yep. Yeah, and I think I made this point too, Andy. I don't know if you caught it during the watch along or whatever, but I think he surpassed C.J. Dupree in terms of talent. Right, he's a better tight end than C.J. was, and C.J. was good and he was serviceable and he did some good things for Alabama. But Josh Cuevas is a guy. He's probably the best tight end that Alabama's had since I've been here. I know that they had Irv Smith. Irv Smith was pretty good, but Josh Cuevas is up there. He's a good guy. I think you made a good point on that.
Got great hands.
For sure. All right, Andy, I appreciate you calling in, man.
Great hands. He does it all.
Yep. All right, man. We'll talk to you next show, man.
We'll get off here and let somebody else.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, we go to 865. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Angel from Pigeon Forge.
Angel, what's up, bro? I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the show, man. Take it away.
Look, this game gave me a heart attack almost. Like, this game scared the shit out of me because this game was a trap game indeed. But I'm just glad Bama this year broke a trend of losing big games that are unranked opponents. And this game, I told everyone yesterday that this game was going to be a dogfight. And South Carolina ain't no pushover. They're better than what their record indicates. But, yeah, I have to agree. Josh Cuevas is a good tight end, especially he's like a Travis Kelce, George Kittle type player. And he came out big today. And also our defense, Tim Keenan.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's going to be a first-round pick for sure.
Yeah.
And he played a lot of big things in this game. But one thing, Ty has to wash this game off because this ain't the last time we're going to see a good Ty, because this game is probably needed to let the fans and the players know that anything can happen any given Saturday. And I just hope this wakes them up for the bye week, and then next week after that, LSU, of course. But, yeah, I think the run game needs to be fixed. I think Daniel Hill needs to be starting running back. I love Jan Miller, but ever since his injury, he's been kind of a little slow a little bit, and like he lost some burst or something.
Mm.
But I think Daniel Hill is Derrick Henry 2.0, and I think he should be the number one option for running back as of right now at this moment, because they're expecting Jan Miller to run the ball up the middle or up the sideline. Because I'll tell you this, because our running game has not been working, sure, but I think they're expecting it now. So, and that's why Jan Miller didn't go off today like he was supposed to, because he's a really great back, talented back. I just think Danny Hill is a better explosive player right now than Jan Miller is at the moment, because it's a long season. Players get worn down, and I think Danny Hill should be running back number one. But, Kyle, I'm gonna let you go off the phone here. I'm still shaking right now. I'm about to have a heart attack. But you look at Roll Tide. I love y'all. I'll see you guys next week at some point. Roll Tide, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro. My good buddy Angel out in Pigeon Forge. All right, I have some questions for you guys inside the comment box, and when you guys call in, we'll probably hit on some of these questions. But your MVP of the game, go ahead and post it inside the comment box. Lack of run game. Why do you think that Alabama can or can't run the football, right? And then I also have this question for you as well. Is your biggest takeaway from this game? Biggest takeaway regarding the team, and then I have thoughts on Ty. Because, look, he didn't have his best game, but, man, that guy came in the absolute clutch, right, late in the game. All right, 850, you're up next. Hey, thanks for being patient. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson, who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Cody from Florida.
What's up, Cody?
Florida.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Hey, no, I was angry from a lot of what I saw from Alabama, but I had a heart attack at the same dang time because of how everything happened. I think I posted in the comment section that I had a calling that I should be doing referee job because some of the referees can't call any flags on South Carolina because they played a little bit of aggressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the reason why we can't run the ball is only because I think South Carolina beforehand, I think people overlooked about South Carolina because they wanted to wait till they face Alabama because I think they watched a lot of film of us. And so they said, oh, they know how to run the ball. Let's just see what we can do. And that's why they got that edge rusher from South Carolina that did, that stopped some runs. But right now, I'm happy that Jeremy, and then you got Josh Quavers. Those two are pretty much the MVPs of the group. I do need to know, when we had that play with Derek Meadows out there, I think it was in the third halftime thing. I guarantee you Derek Meadows was wide open. I don't know why they didn't throw it to him. He was wide open in plain view. But it is what it is. Really, to be honest, Ty Simpson, yes, he struggled. And my best bet, I think for the offensive teams, they need to do some night practices for catching the ball from a quarterback to a wide receiver and get that feeling for short and medium and long passes for the wide receivers. And then for the kickers, for Connor Talty, we have a 5-star kicker as a bench warmer. I think we need to use him more often. But for Connor Talty, can we pour some bucket of water so he can actually kick better?
All right, Cody, I appreciate it, man. I got to move to our next caller, man. But thanks for calling in, Cody. All right, man. Take it easy. All right, we go 916. All right, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson, who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's up, man? This is your boy Mike from California, man. What's up with you?
Hey, what's up, Mike? I appreciate you calling in, man. Gritty win for Alabama. I got 4 questions on the board, so I'll go with them for you real quick, man. Your MVP.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Ty Simpson is my MVP. You know what I'm saying? The lack of the run game. I'm gonna make a comparison real quick. You remember when the Colts and Peyton Manning had Edgerrin James in the backfield? They could have ran the ball 25, 30 times a day, maybe average 140, 180 yards a game. They didn't base their game on the run game. They based their run game on balance. That play action with Ty Simpson gives them that extra time. You only get that with that balance. That's my biggest takeaway from there. Now, we ain't played a long time. I don't watch a lot of Bama games all the way through because I feel like I curse them when I watch. But this one I watched all the way through, not because I felt like I was about to have a heart attack, because I'm a true Bama fan. I remember the old days. You know what I'm saying? Like, we consistent enough for me to be balanced enough win to lose. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't even make it upstairs. I kept watching this game on my phone. I kept thinking to myself, what is going to happen at what moment. Once they did that little 2-point conversion play, I knew the game was over with right there. I knew the game was over with right there. And if Ty Simpson don't get the Heisman this year, I'm going to be super upset because this dude's composure is the MVP of the team. Every player on that team goes as Ty Simpson goes. And if Alabama goes anywhere, it'll be because Ty Simpson takes us. I'm going to let you go ahead, you know what I'm saying, and run the rest of that with these cats who's having heart attacks. I'm a Bama fan, man. Roll Tide.
All right, man. Take it easy, dog. All right, my guy on Cali, man. We go to 610. Hey, Javion, welcome into the show, man. Come with it, bro.
Hey, Cal, how you doing? I'm in Monroe, Louisiana, traveling to Fort Worth, Texas. And I put on the side of the road and watched the rest of that game because I couldn't drive. I'm already bald, so I couldn't pull my hair out. So I was pissed. But my biggest takeaways from this game for me is I have about 3 of them. Ty Simpson not a deep throw passer. He is not. Why did we throw so many deep passes and didn't connect?
Yeah.
What was the point?
Yep.
And my other takeaway is this team has grit. I think we need this win. They stepped up when they need to step up. Regardless of how they played for the rest of the game, they stepped up when they need to step up. Towards the end, the running game kind of started try to get better, I guess. But I think the O-line is the issue when it comes to running, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, the offensive line tonight, Javion, you know, you started out with Jaden Roberts. I don't know how many, even if Geno Vandermark got in, but it seems to be like they're still trying to figure out the right side of the ball. And I feel at times that Wilcom Formby is a liability. Then Carroll comes in and, you know, it's still not like elite. But I do say this, and it was weird. It was like when it mattered, Alabama was able to run the ball. And that's I feel that's the truth. Like Jam had a really nice run in the back end of the game, and so did Daniel Hill. And a lot of people asking about Kevin Riley. Kevin Riley's still there. He's just been surpassed because I think Daniel Hill is, I don't know, fully healthy or whatever it is. Yo, Daniel Hill is a monster. And somebody just pointed out inside the comment box saying Alabama is the most battle-tested team. Hell yeah. This is a gauntlet. And I don't want you all inside, you know, our ecosystem to leave this game and be like, this team can't, you know, that this team isn't it. No. Like, this was a hell of a win. To be able to win when things aren't going your way is impressive to me. This was a hard game. Everything went wrong, and you're still able to win. Make another point, Javion, before I move on, dog.
I just want to say that my MVP this game is Justin Jefferson.
Ooh, yeah, I love
the whole game.
Man, yo, that hit. I think that was the hardest hit that we've had in years, right?
Yes. I'm sorry. Who was it on special teams? We had one last year. It was somebody on special teams that hit somebody.
I don't remember that. Yeah, there was. I don't know what it was. Hey, fam, inside the comment box, what was that big hit last year? But I can't remember. This was probably one of the biggest hits I've seen. But, Javion, I got to run, man. Thanks for calling, dog, and be safe on the road, all right?
Love you, Kyle.
All right, love you too, dog. All right, man, roll tide. 334, let's do it. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Yo, it's Dom. Dom calling in from Minnesota, man.
Hey, Dom, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Come with it, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go my MVP probably I'm going to have to give it to Ty Simpson, man, just because the pressure that he was under, I mean, they were really giving our offensive line a hard time tonight.
Yeah.
And Ty, even with a lot of, you know, mishaps that happened to fumble and, you know, he still remained calm the entire time, and he still was able to deliver in critical moments. That's what the commentators were talking about. They were talking about Alabama as a great critical moment team, and I really believe that.
Yep.
But we do have to step it up in the second half of the season. We have to step it up, and we have to look like the best team in the country. the lack of run game, I mean, I think that it's a lot of misassignment, miscommunication going on the offensive line because, I mean, teams are really getting outnumbered. I mean, they doing a lot of stunts, a lot of pressure off the edge, and those stunts are really getting to the offensive line. And, like, guys, I mean, sometimes it's like we snap the ball and guys are, like, just coming, like, no one block at all. Like, it just looked like they're just coming straight in. But it's just a simple stunt. And so, I don't know. We got to get that cleaned up, too. My biggest takeaway, are you still there, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm here, dog. Go ahead, man.
Oh, okay. I got quiet. My biggest takeaway, man, is probably that last play. I really like the captain stepped up, man.
Yeah.
Tim Keenan and Deontay Lawson.
Yep.
Deontay Lawson's awareness. His awareness to be able to know, like, Tim Keenan has this guy stood up.
Yep.
He's about to tackle him.
Yep.
I see the ball. Let me go in and rip it out.
100%.
That is a veteran play right there.
Yeah.
A veteran play.
Yeah.
100%. And I already gave you my thoughts on Tyson.
All right, good stuff, Don. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling up from Minnesota, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, fam, I got a 443 and a 251 coming up next. I have a pad right here, okay? And these are all my top plays. All right, I'm a list type person. Is anybody else like a list type person? I list everything. But I feel like there's one, and this list is my top plays this year for Alabama football, okay? So I'm going to probably do a video on this, but do I have all the plays, okay? All right, so I got Proctor, the catch against Georgia. I got Xavier Brown, and these are no ranking. Xavier Brown, interception against Tennessee. I got Proctor at Wildcat the first time. I don't want to see any more crispy, by the way, but the first time he did it was cool. The 4th and 1 stop by Georgia against Georgia. The interception against Vanderbilt, Keon Sabb. The 4th down punt stuff against Missouri by Draylon Washington. The double reverse to Ryan Williams was dope. Tied to Lazier Brooks on that 4th down against Missouri. Tied to Jam when he kind of rolled out and extended to ice the game against Georgia. And then the Deontay Lawson tonight, with the strip. I think that's up there. And you look to the defense, it's kind of like that bend but don't break mentality. Once again, they did it again. It's been amazing to see this defense continuing to come up with plays. And as Dom said, it was your two captains who came up with the play, right? Deontay Lawson and Tim Keenan. The funny thing is Tim Keenan didn't even know that he was on the ball. Did you guys notice that? 443, you're up next. Hey, thanks for calling. You're on line with Kyle Henderson. Yeah, who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Kiltack.
Hey, Kiltack, what's up, man? Hey, first of all, Kiltack.
Coming out of PA.
All right. First of all, Kiltack, thank you so much, man to man, for all the support inside, because I know you're a big super chatter. I see you inside, man. So, like, man to man, thank you so much for supporting the product, bro. With that said, Kiltack coming to us from PA. Go ahead, man.
First thing, I got to, thank, number one, on South Carolina for not pushing Bernard out of bounds, just putting his hands up, letting us get that touchdown to win the game.
Yep.
I appreciate him for that. I think the thing that's interesting about a run game, I watch a lot of the Film Guy Network too.
Mm-hmm.
And, he points out, like, we're getting to our run blocks assignments, but we're doing a lot of, like, zone and, like, very slow duos, very slow. Like, Jam doesn't just explode after he touches the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't come out from behind Ty, get the ball, and just run as hard as he can to the gap. And so by the time he gets there, someone's either shifted into the gap or a linebacker has come down. Like, we're just not exploding off into the zones that we need to get in these open gaps.
Yeah.
And I think that's been our biggest problem. And I think that's why Hill has been getting more touches, because if you notice, like, he pretty much only runs up the middle, and that's about it. But he explodes as soon as he touches the ball. He goes into full gear, and so he's able to get to the line and then maybe get a couple more yards. Where Jam is, he's shifty, so he's trying to, like, dance and find that explosive play. And it could be like, I don't know if anybody else has ever broken a collarbone. It's not fun. I doubt it's fully healed. He probably
I did.
Trying to be smart.
Yeah, I broke my collarbone, and
it
never. You know what?
Yeah,
it never. It didn't heal for, like, honestly, it probably didn't heal for like 6 months, but you could still play with
I had like a weird click in my shoulder when I rotated my arm.
Yeah, me
for a
too.
while.
And the weird thing is,
Like-
I could still play. It just bothered me, and it hurt. It was like this very piercing pain, but I could still play. It was the weirdest thing, man. What else you got for us, bro?
I think that there's like some football like stuff people have to understand about deep balls. A lot of it is timing based, right? So if Ty's doing great footwork, right? He's either doing his 5-step or 3-step drop, getting up into position and throwing the ball. But if you go back and watch almost every deep pass we have, South Carolina or like any player, Georgia was doing this real bad. They're about to get beat. They just grab. They just grab as much as they can and slow down the wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And so it looks like an overthrown pass or Ty's, like the pass earlier that was underthrown to Bernard. He has to shift out to the right instead of being able to step up and throw. Because if he had stepped up and throw, he would have thrown as Bernard was getting there. And so it looked like an overthrown pass.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I have a feeling that in practice, he probably connects deep balls all day. And they're like, we're going to do that in the game. And then you see Ryan Williams, out on an island. He does a double move, gets past the corner, and the corner just drapes him. He's like, oh, nope, can't let myself get beat, but I know I'm not going to get a flag because the refs don't call anything. Like that's really what's happening. The amount of holding we get from when we're on offense is insanity. Absolute insanity that the amount of holds.
Yeah, no.
The fact that our wide receivers even get open shows how good they are. The fact that they can break off all the contact they're getting, like 10 yards down the field, like super far down the field, and then the refs are just holding that flag. And then last week, I guess Vegas called. They finally were like, we got to call every flag that we can. It's getting too close, but yeah. No, it was a crazy game. I'm probably going to end up dying this year. I'm going to die of a heart attack trying.
No, because, man, you're good, man. You're good.
I think this was a good win for us because what it showed was like we just played a gauntlet. Okay, who knows how banged up players are? Who knows how tired and exhausted they are of 5 weeks of just the fucking hardest schedule in the nation, and the fact that we're giving up just insane time of possession, and we figured out a way to drive down the field, give the defense just enough time to get energy back to strip that ball. Like, it shows, like, last year, our team would have gave up. We would have been down 14 points, and the game would have been over, and people would have been storming the field. But our team stayed in it. They did what they had to do. They made smart plays. It looked like we were getting ran on in the fourth quarter more than we really were. And what it shows is that if you can get Sellers where he's having to play catch-up, he isn't the best decision maker. He's just an insane athlete, and he can break tackles. That's really what it is.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for the support inside the comment box, man. I'll catch you next time, all right?
And then our safety is actually terrible. He constantly gives up terrible – number 3, Brown or whatever.
I don't think it's Brown. It's the other guy. Sab.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, they got
terrible. Constantly gives up. I mean, I'm glad Jamani's not really playing anymore because he refuses to tackle. So, but we have a lot of freshmen. People need to remember that. Line is struggling because we're trying to figure it out with freshmen. They're doing pretty good.
All right, bro. Thanks for the call, man. I'll catch you next time, dude. See ya.
Yeah, man.
All right, good call up from PA, from KTK. All right, we got 251. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Randall, Mobile, Alabama.
Hey, your connection is terrible, bro. It sounds like try to fix it. I'll give you a few seconds. I can't hear you at all. I used to give people 2 seconds, and they said that wasn't long enough. All right, so let's start it again. Hey, I know people were like, you can't even do anything in 2 seconds. So I realized they were right, and I was wrong. All right, so who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
I'm sorry, brother. Randall, Mobile, Alabama, brother. How we doing?
All right, what's up, Randall? Randall's calling in from L.A. Good people down in L.A. I love it down there, man. So welcome on in, Randall. Come with it, bro.
Man, I'm still trying to come back down to my body, bro. I haven't been able to feel my legs in an hour because I've been standing.
Yeah, you and me both.
The first thing I want to talk about is I saw your row of questions and I'm trying to remember, but I haven't been on your live in a couple of minutes. I've been waiting, but I think Ty Simpson did great. I was actually at the ULM game, and I actually kind of disagree with the fact that he does not have a deep ball. I believe he does have a deep ball.
Okay.
I just believe that he hasn't faced this much pressure this season. Because obviously I know ULM is not a good example of a football team that Alabama's going to compete with. I mean, they blew them out of the water. It was 73-0. But I think Ty has got to do more of slowing the game down and just taking it one play at a time. I feel like he emphasizes the short pass a little too much to the fact that I think that's what takes away from his deep ball game. But I also seen that you were talking about the run game with Jam Miller. I actually don't mind the receiving back style of play that they try to emphasize with Jam. But not being able to run the ball that well doesn't really bother me. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say. I don't know if I sound ignorant for saying that, but it doesn't really bother me, you know?
Like I was saying, I think a few minutes ago, when they had to run the ball, they were able to run the ball. It was crazy. And Daniel Hill,
when we needed the 5 yards, they got us there. You know what I mean? They got it through, but I don't really mind the 75s or the 35 long runs. Like I kind of enjoy having that back or receiving back that I know I can trust, being that Ryan Williams decides to just catch 2 balls a game and just thinks that's it, you know? But another thing that I think also gets dropped under the radar is I actually lived in Fairland, right? So I've seen Ryan Williams play a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing about it is they used him in a lot of, like, I guess we're calling it gadget plays. Is that what we're calling it now? But like jet sweeps, you know what I mean? And so, but when they went to the state championship, they actually played in Tuscaloosa. A lot of the reason why they lost that game in the state championship was because Ryan couldn't catch deep balls, you know? I don't know if anyone's ever seen that film, but it's an interesting thing to go back and watch because a lot of the reason was because he couldn't catch the deep ball.
Yeah, interesting.
But, and then I watched the videos of them catching, like, tennis balls and stuff like that.
Yeah, rugby balls.
I would just like to pick you. Yeah, I would just like to pick your brain for a quick second, and then I'll get out of here with the next person. What do you think, or could you agree that he's thinking about too much of what he's going to do after the run, or after the catch, than necessarily catching the ball?
I don't know. I think with Ryan Williams and the drops, I didn't know that about high school, that was kind of like a thing that he dropped passes. He had a big drop today on a third down, and then they turned around and it was a big touchdown for South Carolina. I think the thing with Ryan Williams is he's just a teenager, and that's not – look, he's a teenager. That's a professional athlete. So, do you, like, as a parent who has a teen, you're like, okay, they're going to go through a bunch of different stuff, but this guy, and you can't make excuses for him because he's probably making like $5 to $10 million, and I would never sell Ryan Williams.
Of course.
That dude is one play away from doing something crazy, but he's also going through, a lot. I mean, shoot, he's going to be put in tough situations, and he's dropped some passes.
I don't know if you have it noted, but also I don't know if you had it noted, but he didn't start playing wide receiver until his sophomore year of high school, I think it was. I don't know if anyone's aware of that, but he played quarterback.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I think he's going to be fine. It's just like, but I see you, Jack, inside the comment box. Yeah, like I agree. We can't make excuses for him not dropping the football because if you keep dropping them, your quarterback loses confidence in you, and plain and simple, you have other wide receivers that aren't going to drop those passes, right? Like you're too talented as a depth chart. So I think you still go to him, but my confidence in him is still high in terms of playmaking ability. But man, this team, they also drop a lot of passes. It's just not Ryan. It's like Jeremy dropped a pass,
man,
Rico dropped a pass.
I've never seen Alabama drop this many passes.
Yeah, they drop a lot of passes, so that's unacceptable. I mean, if your hands touch it, like I think Ty overthrew him on that first one, but if it touches your hands, like you got to make the catch. But anyways, man, I got to go to my next caller. So thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, bro.
Of course, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Appreciate you.
Yep. Good call from down in Mobile. We got a 251. Hey, good evening. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Robert from Mobile.
Hey, Robert, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. I always kind of light up when you call. Robert's one of the OG callers. I always like to say that because, respect is earned based on how long you've been calling. Robert, you've been calling in since, man, you've been calling in for a long time, right? I mean, and I know it's been amazing to see kind of all the content creators that now exist in the space. But before, Robert, like 8 years ago, this was it, right? And now, so you've been calling for a long time. Robert, anyways, welcome to the show. Are you okay from the game? Were you stressed out? Are you disappointed? You feeling good? Where you at?
Oh, well, I'm feeling good. Well, yeah, I was definitely stressed out. I mean, this is just how the SEC is now. This is the toughest schedule I believe any Alabama team's ever had to run. In the sense that the talent gap between us and the rest of the SEC is as narrow as it's been in a long time. Only for Alabama to have a good team. Now, Alabama had bad teams under Shula. Yeah, we were below the average SEC team. Now we're a good SEC team, and this is the toughest I've seen the Alabama have to run with a good team. Usually we're on the Saban, we play a Vanderbilt, we just blow them out. So we play a South Carolina, we blow them out.
Yep.
And so we wouldn't have a stretch where Vanderbilt's good and South Carolina's good, and then we got to play good Missouri. We blow Missouri out.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're not blowing these teams out anymore because the talent gap is a lot narrower now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never seen a stretch with this many teams capable of beating a good Alabama team in ever. Not ever.
Mm-hmm.
So this was an accomplishment by the board.
Mm-hmm.
And the frustrating part was early on when the guy allows the ball to touch him and we fumble and they score again. And we're thinking, oh, my goodness, are we really going to lose to another unranked team on the road? Is that really going to happen again? And that's the one script left to flip for the board right now.
Yeah.
And of course, they won't quite flip it till we win more of those games than we've lost.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the track, but we're still underwater. We still lost more road games to unranked teams than we've won. Now, he'll flip that script eventually because, we'll eventually start beating those teams on a regular. But I was like, oh, are we going to do this again?
Yeah.
And good team, great championship teams find ways to win these kind of games.
Yep.
And it's just it. If you're a championship caliber team, even though you're not playing well, this is the worst game we played the entire season, including Ty Simpson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the Florida State game, Ty played well. The rest of the team didn't play too hot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this game, even Ty wasn't playing well.
Yeah.
This was his worst game, truly worst game. We still found a way to win it.
Yeah.
So but this bye we couldn't come at a better time.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about needing a bye. This has been a gauntlet I don't think any team in college football can run.
And you know what, Robert? Look, I think Alabama is going to be judged on this, and you should be, right? But, I still think that South Carolina, because I was hyping up South Carolina in the preseason. I thought they'd be kind of there up at the top. That's a good team. They're scrappy. Yeah. I don't know all the dynamics, why they aren't, why they're 3-5 right now or whatever, but that's a tough team to beat. And Shane Beamer can say this. He's like, look, I have played Coach Kalen DeBoer down to the nickel 2 years in a row. Last year, he probably feels they should have beat them. And this year, I think he had opportunities as well. His blood's got it. I can't wait to see that post-game press conference, honestly, because he probably feels that they should have beat Alabama. This schedule, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina. That was a hell of a stretch. And you have this open week, and then look who you got. You have LSU right here trailing A&M, okay? Then you have Oklahoma, you have Eastern Illinois, and then you have the Haunted Barn. So it's like you have a quick pause, and then you got to get reloaded because you still have this little back-end stretch that is still hard.
Yeah, Yeah, normally we'd have a pathetic Auburn team with absolutely no chance of beating us at the end of the year.
Yep.
No, they're not that pathetic this year.
Yep.
On LSU and Oklahoma,
yep.
You better not bring that B game, or they'll probably beat you. Even in your own house, if you bring that B game.
Yeah.
So this is the toughest schedule in the history of Alabama football that I've ever seen, because it's just the talent gap for a good Alabama team. The talent gap isn't that great. It's an NFL type schedule is what it is. If you don't play well, this team can beat you. That's how it is. If South Carolina was in the Big Ten, they'd probably be undefeated, or maybe one loss in the Big Ten. In the SEC, no. If Vanderbilt, Georgia, Missouri, if we're in the Big Ten,
I know
they either have only one loss or undefeated. That's how the SEC is this year.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I'm always look at Mississippi State over here in Texas. These two teams are in overtime. Where would Mississippi State be in the Big 12? They'd probably be in the playoffs. It's crazy to think, but they would be. They've been playing everybody tough. And who knows how this Texas game is going to go. That Texas is a whole different element, what's going on over there. I have no idea. But anyways, Robert, I appreciate the call, bro. Thank you so much.
Oh, one more thing before I go. If Alabama runs this schedule and is undefeated and wins the SEC championship game, that committee does not make them the number one seed. then our future schedule need to be reevaluated to, okay, so it's just win, right?
100%.
Fine, we can fix that. We'll just play ECU, and you won't ever see Alabama, Ohio State, or anything else like that again.
Yeah.
So you don't know this committee. All right, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, Robert. All right, Robert down in Mobile. I have I just had Alabama's schedule up. You know Alabama's schedule. That was a hell of a pass interference call. Texas A&M leading up on LSU 7-0. LSU now driving, and this game I guess went final between Texas and Mississippi State. Texas survives, and they are going to go to 3-1 in SEC play after beating Mississippi State in overtime. They have won 2 consecutive games in overtime against 2 unranked teams, right? There's a lot going on with Texas, but clearly, playing kind of the lower half teams and going to overtime, I think is telling. Then again, Alabama just won. I think the point is any given Saturday in the SEC. Here's a look at Ohio State's schedule real quick, okay? They're open this week. Were they? Is today? Yeah, I guess they're open this week. And the back end of their schedule, they got no ranked team. Oh, they got Michigan. They got Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, Michigan. It's a lot different schedule. And you kind of start to poke around at Ohio State, you're right. And look, this team is a good team. I think they are clearly a contender, right? But that win against Texas doesn't. What other wins stand out? Does this win stand out to you? Seriously, and kind of what Robert was saying is if Alabama is able to somehow manage this grind and win out, they sure as hell better be the number 1 seed. Does it matter? I don't know, but I think Alabama has a much better resume than Ohio State. Just my opinion. That's not even be fancy. I just think look at the board. 619. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Who am I on the line with? Where are you calling in from?
This CB. I'm calling from California, but I'm originally from Alabama.
All right, CB.
I came out here in the military and stayed out here.
Yeah, CB. I saw the 619. Where you at? You in San Diego? You in Chula Vista? Where you at?
Yes, sir. There you go, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you serving this country, man, right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Look, this is never going to be a political show, but I am smart enough to know that freedom isn't free. And to those that are currently serving the country, that have served in the past, we salute you. I fly a flag outside of my house every single day because I understand that I'm free, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the people that have even given the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms is just the most amazing thing. So thank you for your service, bro, and welcome on the show. What'd you say your name was?
CB, man.
All right, CB, come with it, bro. Welcome to the show. Come on.
All right, 2 things, man. First, man, we got to work on that line, man. Come on, man. That line is killing us. And then I never seen us not have no running backs that can get can get to the hole, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's that's obviously a popular topic is, kind of the run game or lack thereof. But the weirdest thing is, it's kind of like a weird take, is like they ran the ball when they had to in the late in the game. You had your best runs, by Daniel Hill and Jam Miller there at the end, but throughout the course of the season, the team cannot run the ball, right? It's the weirdest thing. You're like, man, why can't they run? And it's kind of frustrating for me because I think that Jam Miller has it. I think that Daniel Hill has it. I think that Riley has it. I think there's kind of something else going on. Maybe it is kind of the offensive line. Maybe it's the scheming. Maybe they're calling, the wrong plays. I believe in the run. I don't think it's the running backs is what I'm saying. I think these running backs would go anywhere else in the country and be racking up yards in offenses that maybe had, were better suited for running backs. Just the same, look what Haynes is doing at Michigan. It's insane, right? And I think that these running backs over here are equally as good. So that's kind of my take. What else you got, CB?
And the last thing, I'm looking forward to seeing E.J. Crowell next year, man. I'm looking forward to see what he's gonna do.
Oh my goodness, man! So Xavier Crowell, this guy coming in, this guy, and you're gonna think about the running back room next year.
Yeah, and so I know the family, I know everybody from down there because that's where my grandparents from down there. So
yep.
And he a stud, man.
Yeah,
he loved the game. He a humble kid, and he man, the dude work out nonstop, man. So I'm telling you, man, next year. I've been saying, I was like, if we get in this year, it's cool. But I got a feeling that recruiting class next year, we're gonna be back to the Alabama where we always been.
Man, yeah, you're not lying, man. Xavier Crowell coming in, Sadarian Morgan. I think Sadarian Morgan probably be one of the best wide receivers on the team right now. If he was here, I'm glad he's not because that was you. How would you get him on? You have to take someone off the field. But yeah, Sadarian Morgan is gonna do work, man. All right, CB, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in from the 619, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, that was CB calling in from the 619. We got a 678 and a 707 coming up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Mattress Matt in with the call, in with the super chat rather. He says, still think my South Carolina win prediction was dumb. No more taking teams. Yo, Mattress Matt has been right on it. I'm serious. And you know what? The King Saban. Did you see they put a crown on Coach Saban today? Did anybody see this for game day? He said, he was like, look, if I was Alabama, I would be concerned. We all knew I'm not shocked to see it, that tight. It was tough because they didn't play well. And it was a rat poison game. 678. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're online with Kyle Henderson.
What's up?
Yeah. Who am I online with and where are you calling in from?
Yes, it's Miguel from Georgia.
All right, Miguel, what's up, man? Come with it.
It takes a lot for our team to go through 4, ranked opponents mentally, physically, emotionally, and have to come back the 5th time around. And in the SEC, it doesn't matter who you play. So we need to kind of give our guys a little bit of a break. Our O-line is the reason why our running backs aren't hitting those holes aren't opening up. So our O-line really needs to start stepping it up.
Yeah.
But hey, I just have to say our off week is coming at the best time ever. I can tell you that. Most needed.
Yo, hell yeah, man! That the open week couldn't come at a better time. It's I'm
Jesus.
Stay with me, fam. I'm gonna go down on my seat. I've been streaming for 6 consecutive hours, so I'm just kind of switched to a different format. There you go. There's a lot to dive into. I thought what was interesting too was kind of this whole deep ball deal, right? Is like I felt it was inaccurate by Ty, but also it was like, South Carolina, I haven't seen a team hold more than South Carolina. It was crazy. I would have called probably 5 more pass interference calls. I don't even know if there was a pass interference call in this game, but I do feel that
there wasn't.
Right?
Not one.
There wasn't. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was like backyard football. They let them play.
It was. And in some ways,
on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, in some ways you're like, that's cool, but other times you're like, man. But also with that said, Ty was a little bit inaccurate, so just kind of something to watch. What else we got, man?
Well, that's because that's because CJ was in his face all night. Really. He had someone in his face the entire night. But, hey, that's all I wanted to say. Get on to your next call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, take it easy. All right, we go to
Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide, team, man. We got 707 and 843. I'm sitting now. So I have my desk. It can go up. It can go down. So I like to stand for the watch alongs, and then sometimes I'll switch it up, just kind of depending. But getting up there, man. 41 years old, right? Shoot, right? Where my 1980 crew at? We up in here somewhere? 707. Let's do it. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is NorCal MAGA from 707.
Hey, NorCal, what's up, man?
Where
are you at in NorCal?
Very good. About an hour north of San Francisco.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
on an island out here as MAGA. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to work in Sacramento, and then I've said this many.
You go.
Yeah, I've said this many times. My cousin Rich Aurelia, played for the Giants. So growing up, they lived in Foster City. So that's when they played at Candlestick. And then, kind of towards the end of his career, that's when they moved out to the new stadium. But I spent a lot of time out in San Francisco. I had family that lived in San Francisco, and my mom worked in Sacramento. Beautiful. And I thought about going to Menlo College. You know where Menlo is?
Yeah. Oh, I do.
Yeah. I thought about going out to Menlo there for a little while. Chose to go a different route. But anyways, man, I love Northern California. And I lived in Southern California. So, they're two states, right? They're completely different in every sort of way. But anyways, man, I appreciate the feedback inside the comment box, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, I just want to comment. I'm new to the show. I got to say, first and foremost, I love your energy. Your positivity is off the hook. It's energizing. Yeah. We feed off of it. It's common. Just as you were the whole game, you knew what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Just a few comments. I'd love to see Hill more. Mm-hmm. We don't have that I formation running game, and we're too far in the season to figure this out. So I'd like to see a lot more of that play action with Hill, and a lot more go Riley, pound Hill, and then Riley at the end there. So I think we need to start looking at that, and if that's a winning solution, that's great. As far as the deep ball, I'll take Dart Simpson's dink and dunks over Milroe's accurate long balls anytime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But other than that, I want to keep.
No, just stay here for a second. I think that you hit on, the combination. I don't look at it as kind of like a one or the other with Jam Miller and Daniel Hill. I think of it as a bonus. You have multiple running backs, including Kevin Riley, who didn't get opportunities tonight. I think you have different running backs, and I'm starting to feel it's more of an offensive line deal. And honestly, it's kind of on the only way that I criticize Ryan Grubb a little bit, but I'm a Ryan Grubb guy, like 100%. But I do feel that sometimes he has some interesting play calls. Like on a 2nd and 1, he throws a bomb. Right there, I run with Daniel Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you start to see that kind of like as a theme with him. So I kind of think sometimes it's the scheming for him and the offensive line rather than the running backs. I think the running backs, I don't think there's anything wrong 100%. With the running backs, right?
Not at all. Mm-mm. And that's the thing with our O-line. It's like they're getting the pass protection down, but they just aren't there with the running game.
For sure.
So I just feel like, this play action is where we need to be as we get into the season.
For sure.
I was going to say, too, I was at the game last week, and that was amazing. I was also at the game when we played Georgia in that stadium last week.
Yeah.
Lit up.
Yep.
When we had that pick six. So,
100%.
Anyhow,
all right, man.
I'll keep it short. You have a great show here, and I continue. I'll look forward to hearing from you.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right. NorCal MAGA calling up from Northern California, 843.
Hey, Roll Tide, Kyle. Oh, my God. I've been watching you for so long. This is one of the best shows ever. Huge win tonight. I just want to say Justin Jefferson, humongous. Also, I just want to make a good point. Now, listen, I love Jalen Milroe. I hope at one point we maybe get to see him play for the Seahawks. I want to see him do well. He's athletic. He's versatile. And as we've said, too, I think watching Sellers tonight, they are very, very similar. Very similar. I think if Jalen had Sellers' size, think about the player he could have been, truly. But I want to say the past few seasons, Saban, this is also what makes DeBoer so dynamic. And honestly, we need to still keep our eyes on him. He's been humongous. His ability to settle into the SEC and into this play, I mean, just look at this gauntlet of a schedule he's literally just faced with the pressure they've had this season. I've noticed that Alabama, we're not making those big-time mistakes in crucial situations that we've kind of been susceptible to in the past. When we need to make a play, and I'm really noticing it with Simpson in this, when they need to sink in they dial in.
Mm-hmm.
They dial in when they need to. And the defense just continues to be unstoppable when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I see us going pretty flipping far this season. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do.
I didn't.
I'm even watching the games tonight.
I didn't catch your name. So who am I on the line with and where you're calling in from? That's kind of like the customary deal on the show. So.
Oh yeah. So get this. So I'm Abigail, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So this was,
Yeah. I mean, calling from South Carolina, not like this. I've said this many times, Abigail. I love, and I always have, I've lived all over and I've gone all over, so I like to give credit. You know where Fripp Island is?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had many friends who love it. It's a great area, beautiful.
Yeah, I went there this summer and I played a little golf there, and I love Hilton Head in Charleston. But all right, cool, really good call. Any other points you got? I love the point on Justin Jefferson, and I think you make a really good point on kind of surviving the gauntlet and what they've been able to do under Coach Kalen DeBoer and the Black Hoodie. Anything else on your mind as Alabama kind of turns the page to an open week and then LSU, Oklahoma, Auburn?
I just really think that everyone needs to still keep our eyes on us, even though everyone judges us to the utmost extent, like you've mentioned before.
Yeah.
No one plays. I just look at schedule with the rest of these teams. That's really what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
No one really impresses me the way that number 4 does. Even if I wasn't an Alabama player, I mean, I think we're better than a lot of these teams.
Yeah, no, I agree. And plus, you survived that schedule. It's interesting to think about, like Ohio State. They've beaten 2 ranked teams. One of them is Illinois. Indiana, they've beaten 2 ranked teams. One of them is Illinois. Alabama beat 4 consecutive top 25 teams. Ohio State, Indiana beat a combined 4 ranked teams. You know what I'm saying? So even like A&M.
It's going to be interesting to see who's playing for the SEC championship. That's going to be a very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean,
and last thing too, this might be a stupid point, but
mm-hmm.
I almost when I look at this is a big, and hopefully this is a big conversation for the committee, but this might be a season where people really need to look. I mean, because even South Carolina, I mean, they've also had a very tough schedule. It's not a bad team. They always have the pieces. They just can never really put, the completion of the puzzle together sometimes. But at the end of the day, I almost wish that, they could go to an NFL kind of schedule where I want to see all of these top 25 people play one another, because it would look very different, the top 10 and the top 12, if you're talking about playoffs. I mean, some of these teams I just believe don't deserve to be in the conversation. And that might be the SEC bias, but I think that's kind of the standard.
Yeah, no, really good call, Abigail. I appreciate it. Call in anytime, and good chat.
Yeah, well tied.
All right, man, take it easy. Abigail in with a great call. 737, thanks for being patient. Let's do it. Hey, 737, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, Kyle. This is Mike in Austin. How you doing?
Mike, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. I didn't catch the 737. I guess maybe it's been because I've been streaming for 5 hours or whatever, but welcome on in. Texas survives Mississippi State. Any quick thoughts on the Longhorns?
Yeah, they barely survived, and barely good thing they did, because it was a must-win for them, and they barely survived their must-win game, in overtime. But they, at one point, I think they were down by 17 or 18 points, and they came back and won it. So and I was watching it just here towards the end of it, but man, it's the way the SEC is now, Kyle, and like we talk about a lot, man. It's so much vandalization going on. So much, it's just such a bloodbath with so many teams vandalizing each other. Because really, man, you think about getting 4 or 5 teams from the SEC in the playoffs. Well, is that enough? In reality, there's probably at least 6 teams from the SEC.
Yeah, for sure.
That are the best teams in the country year in, year out for the most part. You know what I mean? So they can almost make a 12-team playoff with the SEC alone.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the SEC and Ohio State, you got the playoffs right there, man.
Yep.
So it's but I'm glad we won this game, because I was worried about it. And this is why, man, because we're a 7-game stretch now, and actually I think we have the number 1 home winning streak in America now. Now that I think we beat somebody or something, that we have the number 1 or number 2 home winning streak in America right now. So, but just going through a 7-game winning streak like that is a great accomplishment, a feat in itself, a feat on its own. So, but it was much needed, especially starting off at the bottom like we did, starting off, putting ourselves, 2 paces back like we did, which is bound to happen because, like Kyle, I never expected to go undefeated. So, and I always thought there was a good chance we'd lose the first game or 1 or 2 or 3 games. So, I'd expect it to be Florida State. I thought there's a chance it would be, but just going 7 games winning streak like we did, playing these good teams, like busting streaks while we're doing this, Kyle. We're busting streaks, like busting Georgia home winning streak, busting Missouri's home winning streak, but we're making streaks. We just made our own home winning streak. Now that we have the highest, I think, and breaking other streaks as well. So we're kind of like making some records here, man. So it was a good, definitely been a good 7-game victory, dude. So it's a much needed time off coming up.
Yep.
The time off, so we can heal basically. But speaking on that front, man, on the front, a lot of talk about the running game, dude. A lot of talk about the running game, right? And I'm not too worried about it, man. Just so you know, I think the running game is okay, and I'm not too worried about that. That's my disclaimer on the running game. But here's what I think's going on, man. That the way Ryan Grubb plays calls, he uses the running game a lot, whether it's there or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, cause I think our guys are capable. A lot. I know our running backs are. I know who these recruits are. I know who their history is. So I think we have capable backs, and running game and the old line kind of go hand in hand, So and the old line they don't run block as good as they do pass block. We pass block a lot better than run block. That's evident, that we do that. It's evident. So, but anyway, but we just, although where I'm going is, although the run game is really just kind of hit and miss, it's not real consistent. I just love the way that we're not abandoning the running game. We're still keeping using the run game, and that's like what the college is saying. We're still using the run game to keep us honest. You know what I mean? Like honest every play, man. And eventually it does hit. And we've been playing some good run defenses too, dude. So, but it was a good game, Kyle. I'm glad we won the game. We lived to play another day, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for the call, Mike. Good call, bro. All right, man.
All right, man. Later day, man. Later, man.
Later, bro. All right, man. All right, fam. I think I'll take one more call. 337. I probably won't get to you, so call again next time. No offense. I'm gonna take one more call and probably end it here. 205. You're up. Hey, thanks for calling. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with, and where are you calling in from?
Yeah, this is Lag Guy from Tuscaloosa.
Hey, Lag Guy. What's up, man? I appreciate you. Yeah, you're in T-Town. Me too. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the support inside the comment box, and come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to take up much of your time because I know we're all tired and we'll probably go to bed. My player of the game, honestly, for me is going to be probably Ty, because even though with all the crap that happened to him this game, I think he ended up coming through and just, performing out until the end, and can't ask for more of that. The run game, it is what it is. The guys up front just can't seem to push guys out of the way. So I think at this point, you probably should look at just using more screen passes. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I love screens. In fact, you've been you've been on the show for, I don't know, I guess the beginning of the season or whatever, but I'm always constantly calling for screens. And tonight, actually, we have to go back on tape. I think they ran, like 3 or 4 screens? Now, I would like to see a screen ran to Riley. Now I'm getting like picky here. I'm asking for screens. I'm asking for screens to like particular players. But I'm at least we're getting it involved. And then, having Daniel Hill involved in a little bit of the passing game when Ty kind of ran out and made that throw to him, that's a big man running 250 pounds at you, right?
Oh, yeah.
What about
Danny Hill's an absolute monster.
What do you think kind of on the back end? You know, you have an open week, which comes at a beautiful time, and then you have LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn. So still, the schedule doesn't get easier.
No, not at all. And, I do think they deserve a break, but at the same time, we can't really pump the brakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see kind of the I would imagine that they're probably off until like Thursday or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see, man. But, yeah, Lag Guy, I appreciate your support inside the comment box, man, and thanks for the call.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, man, take it easy. Lag Guy calling in from right here in Tuscaloosa. All right, fam, that's it for the post-game call-in show. I appreciate you guys kicking it with me. I still got work to do. In fact, look, I've been sitting here, and I have some pizza, okay? So I've been looking at this pizza for the last hour, and I'm going to have some pizza. And then I'm going to, get to work. So more news and notes to come regarding Alabama football. Stay locked on to the YouTube channel. I'll definitely be live tomorrow, probably in the morning, or have some sort of video that pulls out probably like at early in the morning. And, as major news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. But, man, hell of a win. 29-22 against South Carolina. I'll definitely take it. That was impressive. It was gritty. You know what? I like some of the calls talking about MVP for Ty. You can win in an environment like that when it's not your best game, and you're still playing, at the highest level in the fourth quarter when the game was really on the line. That tells us a lot about the player that Ty is. I never thought differently. If you were in the game, if you watched the watch-along, I never thought that Alabama was going to lose that game. Felt they were going to win just because, I've been in tight games before. I've seen tight games, and Alabama was never out of that game. Now, they lost momentum, and South Carolina did a hell of a job kind of gaining some of that momentum late in the game, but hard to put away a team like Alabama, a lot of different components. It wasn't perfect. It's not going to be perfect. This is any given Saturday. Now, just like any given Sunday, it's going to be hard to win. Wins are tough to come by. 7 in a row is pretty damn impressive, and beating 5 consecutive SEC teams, my goodness. The last thing I will say, kind of hitting on this, and I think this should be updated right now, but this SEC schedule, or the SEC standings, I think this is it right here. Look at this. This is crazy. Kind of like Mike was saying in Austin, how many teams are going to make it? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you go, 5 teams. And it comes down to kind of this spot right here. The great news is Vanderbilt and Texas about to play here in a couple weeks or sooner than later, right? And these are the teams. These are the teams from the SEC that are going to make the playoffs, okay? Now, Texas still has kind of a puncher shot despite, them barely skating by. If they can get into the top 5 of the SEC and beat like a Vanderbilt, then they will be in the playoffs. Now, I think a lot of people will be like, you know what, maybe the SEC just gets 4 teams in. But I think if they're able to take care of business and beat Vanderbilt, that's worthy. That's a playoff resume kind of builder. Alabama 5-0, A&M right now up 14-7 on LSU. Ole Miss wins another game today against Oklahoma. Georgia right there. I have no idea, who's going to play for the SEC title game, and that's going to be one hell of a contest. So more news and notes right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys kicking it with me as always. Follow our Facebook channel. We got tons of coverage. I'll put the Facebook link right inside the comment box so you guys can check that out too. Got a lot of content that's constantly being pushed out there. So head on over there. News never stops. We got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love you all. Huge win for Alabama, 29-22. You can't lose hope. I'm telling you. Got to be positive. Got to manifest it. Thank you so much for watching today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. If you super chatted, if you're a fan funder, I sincerely appreciate you so much. And I'll be back as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Love you, fam. See ya.